Hello everyone, Vampire218 here, and I'm in this episode of my Mutants and Masterminds tutorial. I'm going to show you a very awesome community called the Freedomverse that I play in that you could potentially play in too. So there's a few ways to join the Freedomverse. If you look on the Mutants and Masterminds Reddit, you can see right here that in other online communities they have the Freedomverse Discord server linked. I will also link the Freedomverse Introduction to the Freedomverse Obsidian Portal page in the show notes. If you scroll down on this, it'll give you a brief overview of what the Freedomverse is. And what I'll tell you is the Freedomverse is a very friendly, safe, open, and accepting community of GMs, players, and people who just love Mutants and Masterminds or really just want to learn the system. There is a link to the Freedomverse Discord server on this page right here. The next part of the Freedomverse that I want to show you is the main page on the Obsidian Portal. This has various useful links, including the introduction that we just saw. It also gives you a guideline for new players, joining the Freedomverse, the ability to create a super team, guidelines if you want a GM, how to create your game, some house rules, which we will go over in a second here, as well as some useful macros. This is the Freedomverse Discord server. As you can see here, we have quite a few different channels. I will overview some of them of importance as we go along here. The layer is mostly used for general talk amongst players, general talk amongst people. It's for just hanging out. We scroll down here, there's a lot of channels here. Some channels of interest that you might want are Hero High. Hero High is a channel that is used to ask questions of knowledgeable and experienced people. We can certainly help you out if you have questions about Mutants and Masterminds or the system in this channel. Heroic Builds is the next channel that we're going to look at here. This is generally the channel that you go to if you wish to submit a build. This is where you will submit your builds before you submit them to vetting. You get to share all the awesome work that you've put into your character, get suggestions, and help learn. If you made a mistake, don't worry. This is a very hard to learn system. That's why I'm doing these tutorials. If you check the linked messages in this, you will find Raven's helpful FAQ, which I use all the time. We have the Hero Lab Classic download, as well as the Hero Vetting submission form, the Superhero Team submission form, and the Status to Check Your Submission form. Moving on to the next section, we have guidelines for new players. Now, I'm just going to give a brief blurb. The Freedomverse is a very four-color world. Good is good, bad is bad. However, other game styles do get ran. Villains are a rare run. Some grayscale games do occur. Four-color is the main though, so be aware of that when you join. In this portion, I'm going to teach you how to submit your character to vetting. In a previous episode, I built a character, and I'm going to show you how to submit them to vetting in this portion. First, as a new player, this is a guideline to making your character. You want to have a concept, build the character, submit the character, and then, once they are approved, upload it. Before you go and submit your character, please refer to the house rules, as this is what the Freedomverse runs on. Moving back to the next part of creating your character, now that we have conceived our character, built our character, we would submit them to vetting. Before you submit to vetting, we would generally like you to submit to heroic builds first so that someone can look over your build, give feedback, give advice, and just give like a pre-vet. We are in Heroic Builds now. This is the channel right here that you would go to. It is right underneath Hero High and above Heroic Game Resources. You would click this plus button, and the preferred format is a direct image file so that you can view it directly in Discord without having to download it. In the previous episode, I made a hero that I have entitled Test, as I don't plan to play this hero for the Freedomverse, but I wish to show you how to do this. This is my heroes folder. It is a viewable folder for anybody who has the link that can see all of my active and inactive heroes in the Freedomverse. I will click on test here, as this is the pre-setup folder I have done for my character. I currently have the portfolio file, the PDF file, and just some art for my character here. Do be aware, before you submit to vetting, you will need a backstory included. I will copy the link to this folder, set the permissions to this Google Drive folder to view. Anyone with the link can view, and it's easy for me to submit to the vetting form. This is the vetting form, and we're going to go through it very briefly as we submit our character. My Discord handle is Vampire218. People in the community know me. I can put Vampire218 and they can easily refer to me if they have questions regarding my character. Now, we are going to simply name this character Test, as again, this is simply to show you how to submit a character to vetting. We must declare that our power level is 10, as that is the power level of our character. Most games occur at PL10, however, PL8s are allowed. I believe our character is a very 4-color character. A brief overview of what these mean: 4-color is more like Superman, good is good, bad is bad. Cartoony? Well, think Scrooge McDuck and rather cartoony-esque superheroes that have sometimes fourth wall breaking abilities or are generally a very animated style. Grayscale, on the other hand, is more like Batman. It's much more shades of gray. There is good being bad, bad being good, and everything sort of blends together. The next thing that we must declare is our style of play. Our character is a hero, however they do not go to high school, so they don't qualify for Hero High. Our character can survive in space, so I think Cosmic is appropriate, as I believe them to be an alien, very similar to Invincible. They're not too street level in their level yet. Street level is more PL8, Batman, Daredevil, defending the streets. That's not the scope that I feel for this character. They're certainly not a villain. Other is if you wish to share anything else regarding the scope of the character with the vetters. We now submit our link, we click copy and paste, and we will submit the form. And our response has been recorded. In order to access the vetting page, please go to the heroic builds and see the third pinned message right here. Copy the link and we will see what our build has. This is the base landing page for the vetting sheet. There are 4 colors of importance. If your character appears white, that means a GM has not had the opportunity to look at your character. Please stand by. If your character is shaded yellow, well, your character is under review and has been reviewed by at least 1 GM. If your character is green, that means they have been approved, good for play, and have been looked over by at least 2 GMs. If your character is red, that means there is something wrong with them and they need to be worked on. This could come from various factors. Please refer to either Hero High or someone with the GM tag to assist you further in this build on the Freedomverse Discord server. At the bottom here, we have 3 tabs. In the Characters tab here, we can see all the characters that are currently being reviewed. We have a previous character of mine here called Angel, but that's not what we're looking at here. We want to scroll down here and see our test character has officially been submitted and maybe looked over for review. The archive allows you to view previously submitted characters by name, power level, and status. Once you have gotten your character approved, the next step is to upload them to the Obsidian Portal. On this, we look at uploading your character. There are a few ways to do so, and I'm going to show you the method that I use, which I find very useful. First of all, we want to scroll down to Characters, found right here. There will be a plus sign in the upper right corner. Now, I have this plus sign right here. I'm circling over it. You may not have this plus sign. If you do not have this plus sign, this means you must message a mastermind on the Freedomverse Discord server in order to gain access to the plus. As we click the plus here, we are prompted with a variety of fields, including tags, our name, our players, if they are a player character, as well as some description, biography, and various other things. While Obsidian Portal has an integrated sheet, I prefer to use Google Drive to track my own sheets. So what I do is I use the description to paste the Google Drive folder. The last step to your character is tagging them. Now, this is very simple. All we need to do is go over here to the tags section and write some words. So Vampire 218 is the tag because that is this character's player. Their name, test. What else do we need to tag? Well, they are a hero, they are PL10, they are active, they are not vetted, so under review. However, if you were vetted, you would put vetted. There are some other tags that you may wish to include, including PC or NPC status, their name, if they have a team tag, and any other relevant info that you feel is appropriate here. Once you have your character vetted and approved, you can start applying to games. You will looking for group Freedomverse games, and this is where games will get posted. A game that was recently posted is this one by Holman. On the 6th, which was a Monday, you will see their Roll20 invitation link. This is where you apply to the game. You will see the setting, which was in Freedom City. You will see that it was a one-shot. The PL scale was 8 to 10. PL8s started with an additional hero point, as is the standard in Freedomverse. The story feel was 4-color. I'll be honest with you, I was in that game. It got pretty grayscale. The requirements for that game were heroes, and he was accepting 3 to 4 players. He gave a brief summary of the game here, and then players could apply. Take a look in the Looking for Group channel if you're looking for a game once you have a vetted character. If you have any questions regarding the Freedomverse server, Mutants and Masterminds, or anything, please feel free to join the Freedomverse Discord server and reach out. My name has been Vampire 218, and I certainly hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the Freedomverse Discord server.